Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and I got in my hands here a Dookie Fat Stack. That's right, this, a whole bunch of brand new comics that just came in, and yeah, I'm looking forward to this. This came in, this was so expensive. It came in over $200. I had to pay a duty tax on this. That is how much, and it's always like $30. So this was an expensive freaking bunch of comic books, man. Duty usually happens whenever it comes in. It's like more than $200 worth on the set. Yeah, there's like nothing I can really do about it. I either pay the duty fees or it gets returned to its country of origin. It happens. It happens. So anyway, I'm going to cut this puppy open, see what kind of good stuff I got, and all I'm saying is my comic books better be in good condition or somebody's getting their butt whooped. I already got my knife out, bruh. I think I'm joking. So anyway, there we go. Pop that puppy right on open. Pull some of this here stuff out. And love the way they pack these. They're real nice. They take real good care of my comics. So I'm going to separate this a little bit because they've separated for me. So I've got trade paperbacks. Well, they're really graphic novels. And then over here is a small thing of regular old comic books that I got. So I'm going to open up the comic books first. Who knows? There might be something good in here. Let me pull that open. Fold that freaking tape over so you don't get in my face. They're all already bagged and boarded. Put this over there. Right, let's get started. So, we've got a really basic. This is a second printing. I actually thought this was going to be first printing. I'm going to have to complain about that because I'm pretty sure I ordered a first printing. We'll see what's up. So anyway, Youngblood, issue number 1, but a second printing. Actually says at the bottom there. Not happy about that. So right away, I'm already dissatisfied. I ordered a first printing. I don't do second printings. What do we got here? Okay, this is an old school comic book. It is what it is. A-Team, this was a really good, there was a good story in here. I really liked it a lot, and I'm looking forward to reading it again. Amy was the 5th member who came along later because they had to liven up the show and, bring in a woman too. It's stuff that, people have been dealing with for a while. Here's a team of hard-nosed killers who go around and do what they're going to do, and then they had to add a woman. So it's like, hey, here's Amy. Whatever. She didn't really tick me off. I was a kid. It is what it is. But good story in here. Boom. Going to get to that one of these days. I have got... Here we go. Anybody wondering why I didn't like the way that Apocalypse was kind of punked out in some way because of his children, killed by his children, his firstborn, it seems. Yeah, he's got children in this also. That was in the whatever the first. What the heck is that stupid thing called? Creation, the freaking Ten of Swords. There we go. Ten of Swords Creation. So issue 1. Here we go. Here's an issue 1. Apocalypse versus Dracula. He's got kids, and he's willing to kill one that doesn't live up to his expectations. And the ones that even do live up to his expectations, he has no problems murdering them dead. A precedent has been set. But, this one's his firstborn. And, okay, kind of some first appearances in here, but only for the DC Earth Prime, so the New 52 thing. Forever Evil, issue number 1, it's kicked off a really good story. So I mostly bought this for the story than anything else. I mean, the Royal Flush Gang, first appearance, or whatever you'd call them in this version. It is what it is. But the story itself, really good. So I wanted to own that again. Okay, X-Men issue number 4. This is the first appearance of Omega Red. And it's a first full appearance at that. And it is indeed the first print and all that good stuff, so I'm happy. Very happy with this. I think they gave it a grade. They gave this a fairly low grade. But mostly the only thing that I saw on this that was low grade, in my opinion, right here next to Jubilee's eye. You see that little crease there. Aside from that, there's not really much of a problem here. Even the low-grade comic books can oftentimes be perfectly okay. You know, you look at this real hard, you can see a little bit of wearing and tearing. But nah, man, I'm okay with this. I like the grading. I like what I got. Very satisfied. Alright, let's open up the trade paperbacks. See how my stuff came. If they decide to sneak me a second printing of something so I can kick somebody in the butt. Sometimes you gotta kick somebody in the butt. I don't know what to tell you. Alright. Boom. So, let me just look at these really quick. These should all be, yep, every single one of these. What the heck are they called? The Marvel graphic novels. So I could have just looked at the stupid thing. Okay, so these are all first print Marvel graphic novels. I love these things. I forget which number this is, but this is Marvel graphic novel Conan of the Isles. I have actually never read this book before. There's actually a lot of these that I've never read before. I'm going to read this. I can't wait to just sit down, just take a day and just sit down and just start reading all my graphic novels, probably starting with some of the Conan stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So happy I finally got my hands on that. Here's another one. I think this is one of the early, I think if this isn't 23, then it's one of the first 10, I think. Whatever. Anyway, Sword of the Swashbucklers. So this looks like a good story. Bill Mantlo and Jackson Juice. Can't go wrong. You could try, but you would fail. Sword of the Swashbucklers. Yeah, that's going to be a good read. Here's another Conan. Conan the Barbarian in the Skull of Set. Bang. So looking forward to get a little that thing going on. Yeah. Bang. Another Marvel graphic novel. All of them again. First print and at least 5.0 or higher. Usually 6.0 grading. And this is not only a very hard one to get, but a very expensive one to get. Sometimes they're not the same. And this, it was hard to find and expensive. Squadron Supreme, Death of a Universe. Yeah, this is Mark Grunwald, who also did that 12-issue limited series. Yeah, oof, my God. This is one of those loves of mine. This likely came afterwards. It's been forever since I read this. I did read this. I did used to own this. That was a while ago. I think this is after that 12-issue limited series because he's got Hyperion's got the glasses on from when he went blind. Used his heat vision a little bit too long. Here's one that I was just saying that they're not always synonymous with each other. Very hard to find, but very cheap. Not very expensive at all. This is The Agent, another Marvel graphic novel. Hard to find. All of these are, usually pretty hard to find, but bang, there you go. For instance, the most expensive Marvel graphic novel is actually issue number 4. That was the, what the heck are they called? The New Mutants. Very easy to find, not cheap. I mean, we're talking $100 on average minimum for like grade 3.0 or higher. Very rare to find cheap, but you can find them. You're just gonna have to pay for it. Okay, here is Power Pack versus Cloak and Dagger. Well, sorry, and Cloak and Dagger. So Power Pack and Cloak and Dagger. This one is a pretty hard one to find. I saw this one pop up and like, oh, yoink. This was actually harder to find on the site that I like to use because I can usually trust them. Yeah, this one over here is really disappointing. This second print of Liefeld. But anyway, happy with this. Found it. Here's one that I have never, ever, ever seen in the wild. And I found it, and I'm super excited. Jim Starlin, Bill Reinhold, Linda Lessman, The Silver Surfer, Homecoming. I've never read it. I don't know anything about this book, except that it is extremely hard to find. It was also a little bit expensive. It was $50, but yeah, whatever. This was, and mind you, these prices are in American. Now this is a very interesting one, because I knew this was coming. Frank Miller and Bill Sienkiewicz. I know how to pronounce his name. Jim Shooter told me how to pronounce his name. Bill Sienkiewicz, one of the greatest artists ever. Daredevil, Love and War. It doesn't say on here, but it does say on the little thing here, and I knew it was called Love and War. This was a really good story. They actually just reprinted this again in hardcover. I just saw it on the shelves of my LCS 2 weeks ago. That's 2 Wednesdays ago. So you can go and get the story. You can get it in hardcover, probably for about the same price I paid for this. I paid $40 for this Canadian. So it was like $30 US. It's funny. They said this was a low grade copy, but I literally see 0 defects on this. This is a gorgeous cover, and it's a beautifully pristine cover. The spine looks fine. Maybe it's missing a page. I don't know. You'd figure they'd tell me that. I don't see any yellowing. This is beautiful. And this is one of the most beautiful covers ever made. Let's just be realistic there. So I'm down. I don't know what their problem was with this. Okay. I got 3 more to show you. 2 of them are kind of the same. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yes, this was actually a trade paperback. So, first appearance of Roger Rabbit in a comic book. I'm saying. Roger Rabbit, Jessica, the original Lady Jessica. So, bang, got that. The movie, or the official comic adaptation of the movie. And here, they actually made a sequel to that. Roger Rabbit, The Resurrection of Doom. So I don't believe they made a movie of this, though. So anyway, The Resurrection of Doom. I've never read this story. I'm looking forward to this. Really good condition. Okay, the final one is actually a very hard one and a super expensive one. This was $70 US. But that's what you pay. Elric, The Dreaming City. If you're not familiar with Michael Moorcock's stories of Elric of Melna Bonet, absolutely amazing character. I read the original 6 novels when I was in, so the Sextant, and when I was in the Army. I was away for a while, and these are the 6 books that I brought with me, small paperback books. The last one was a little bit thick, but still smaller than the average paperback. So really easy, really fun reads. Even that first book, you're going to read it and be like, holy crap, there's no way the other books are this good. You would be wrong. This was really amazing. This was good. And this was actually written by Roy Thomas with art by P. Greg Russell. So it's Michael Moorcock's story, but, his characters. But, Roy Thomas, dude. One of the greatest comic historians ever. One of the guys who pays the most attention to comics and has done some of the best comic book work ever. Yeah, Roy Thomas, baby. So this is actually the 2nd Marvel graphic novel, you may notice there. And, dude, this was a big one. This was a really big find. I've been waiting to try and get my hands on this. It's black, so, it's not going to have the best coloring. Come on, there we go. You're going to see some damage here and there along the spine, right? Especially down there. You can see it really painfully obvious. But, you can see a little discoloration and things like that. I'm seeing it. You're probably thinking a lot of this is glare. It's not all glare. Anyway, super happy with this one. This is a big deal. This is a very big deal. So I imagine most of you guys are excited about the first appearance of crying out loud, Omega Red. I just got the figure in today also. One of the figures. Oh, he's out there. I had to wash him because I got that second hand. I'm going to give a little bit of advice now. Try and get your hands on that. I need you guys to remember, well, I don't need you guys. You guys should consider remembering, if you're collectors or even flippers, you should consider this. The X-Men properties have been purchased by the MCU from Marvel, from Fox Studios. So I want you to think about this. Those X-Men characters and some X-Men villains are going to be popping up out of nowhere. We are not going to know when they're all going to pop up. They're just going to suddenly start appearing here and there. Maybe they'll do Omega Red in a horrible way and nobody's going to care. Maybe it'll actually be the subject of an entire movie and it'll actually be done really well. Who knows? But I promise you, the very absolute second that they announce Omega Red is going to be in a movie, the very second that they announced Wolverine, new movie coming up, as if he wasn't already super expensive because of freaking Hugh Jackman, right? The very second that they announce whatever, any new character they're going to show up, all right? Boom, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. And it's going to be expensive. So that's when a lot of you guys are going to say, because I've seen it before. I've seen it way too many times before. That's when people will be like, I kind of do want to go out and get that first appearance of Omega Red. I paid $6 for this. Actually, I think I paid $10 for this. Either way, $10 for this, that's like about 3 times cover price, is a steal compared to what that comic book is going to go for. If I were to turn around and flip that comic book, once Omega Red is like if the Wolverine movie comes out and like, yeah, the first character he's going to fight is Omega Red. We're going to call, Wolverine Red Sanction or Sanction Red, something like that. And it's like, is it going to be Omega Red? And you're just going to see like the hand and the tentacle just move a little bit at the end of the trailer. People are going to flip out. You're going to see the little Omega symbol on his hand. I promise you, the price of that comic book goes up to $100, possibly $150, like that. So, and once the movie comes out, probably even more. Guys, if you're interested in getting any of the first appearance of these characters, especially first print, right now is the time to start saving up your pennies and trying to get your hands on a couple of those first appearance characters. Even the characters don't seem like they're going to be worth a lot. You got to remember, Marvel's been putting these books out, or these movies out, the MCU, turning otherwise useless characters into something special. I want you to think about this. Peacemaker. Most of us, myself included, I've never even heard of Peacemaker before. I know he's a charlatan character and all that stuff, and I've never even heard of Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad. James Gunn mentions him. We find out that John Cena is going to be playing him. Just found out a day or two ago. I just announced it in my podcast episode 35 of my podcast, that, oh yeah, there's going to be an HBO Max series with him, 8 episodes of a Peacemaker TV series on HBO Max, also with John Cena, and also done by James Gunn. Dude, I'm saying, all of a sudden the first appearance and some subsequent first appearance period, which is in Charlton, and the first appearance in Marvel or in DC Comics, suddenly those prices have more than quadrupled. I'm saying, for a stupid, benign character like Peacemaker, we haven't even seen if the character is going to suck in the movie or not. We don't know. So, think about that. Now's the time to start grabbing all of these characters who haven't made an appearance or a significant appearance yet. That's the advice I'm giving. Guys, I will talk to all of you later. Happy speculating. Happy flipping. Try not to scalp. Rude. But happy hunting. All right, y'all. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.